I want to go to Laura Ingraham, who is the host of the Ingraham Angle. She will be heading to Minneapolis tomorrow. Laura, thank you very much for joining us. Good to see you as well. I just want to play this soundbite from Tim Walz as we wait for him to speak in front of the cameras, Laura. This is back on May 17th of 2025. Here's what he said about Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo. Watch this.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans, wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons.
All right, and Laura, this is what President Trump just posted. I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis. It's a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Based on the clip, hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety. The reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They are just doing the job of making America safe. We need to stand by and protect our law enforcement officers from this radical left movement of violence and hate, writes the president. Laura, your thoughts?
Well, I think when you look at this, and Martha, over the years since George Floyd, almost every summer, I've gone back and done assessment reports on the ground about how things have been there since Floyd. And I would say this is the legacy of the normalization of violence and disrespect toward law enforcement that was legitimized and in many ways celebrated, mostly by the Democrats, far left, agitators for years. And once again, Minneapolis is ground zero for this. And so for Fry to come out and Walz to come out as they're engulfed in this Somali fraud controversy that you've covered so well, for them to come out and pass judgment on this case and once again fan the flames of distrust and loathing against law enforcement will breed more of this. There will be more violence, perhaps tonight. I hope not. There will be more unrest across the country. And this is, again, this is the same place where we saw ACAB graffiti all over Minneapolis, St. Paul for years. And it's still there, by the way. All cops are B-word. And celebrated. Oh, great, good on you. Glad you're out there. Glad you're protesting. And I'm so glad you mentioned that I believe the 3rd police precinct, if I'm correct, 3rd police precinct was burned to the ground. It still stands there as a monument to anarchy. The building is abandoned, never been rebuilt. That's the legacy of this. Now we have someone dead, convinced perhaps that, gosh, you have to do everything you can to stop the Gestapo. I mean, if the Gestapo is really here amongst us, who among us wouldn't do everything we could to protect others? So it's irresponsible. It's incitement to violence at its core. And for them to come out and pass judgment on this case, it's actually, I'd say it's breathtaking, but it's utterly predictable.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more, Laura, and your coverage from there has been really insightful, and I think it's great to continue to look at the situation since that day. We went out there a couple of years ago. I spoke with people in neighborhoods around Minneapolis who were terrified because the police, their police presence was diminished so greatly that they were having, people getting shot in drive-by shootings. They had no police presence on the streets. They said, we want more police, not fewer police.
Yeah, absolutely right.
And I will never forget that night when we watched the cars, the police officers leaving in droves, a parade of lights, leaving the 3rd precinct, and people just taking it over and turning the chairs and filing cabinets upside down, and it was being sprayed with water everywhere. It's unbelievable.
And the fact that today we're watching elected officials who swore an oath to protect and defend their citizens, that they're out there continuing the same villainization of these hardworking men and women, these patriots who are standing up for law enforcement. again, they're on the side of the criminals and against law enforcement. This is a narrative that the American people know very well. We've seen it in Seattle, Portland, New York. We've seen it in Los Angeles, and we're seeing it, sadly, again in Minneapolis. And the people who suffer the most, as always, are the people with the least. And the Democrats are doing this. This is not a Republican thing. This is a Democrat thing. So own it, Tim Walz. Own it, Jacob Frey. No amount of dancing to the crowd or singing or gesticulating is going to change the fact that you put targets on the backs of these ICE agents. Someone almost ran over this ICE agent. ICE agent looks like was defending himself or herself. And what are we supposed to do? Let them all get run over? Would they be happy then? I'm disgusted. I'm sorry I'm getting a little heated here, but I'm disgusted by this today.
Yeah. I remember Jacob Frey, I believe, admitting his own white privilege. He has a long record of going down that road. And here
Crying.
we are today. Yeah,
crying to front of the crowd, emoting, because that's what we really want to see in our mayor.
Today, that there's a word to the wise there. When you're in charge, it's good to leave your emotion a little bit to the side if you're going to say that the investigation is just beginning. It's a leadership issue. Laura, thank you so much for taking some time with us today. We will see you tonight at 7 o'clock and look forward to your coverage in Minnesota tomorrow. Thank you, Laura.
Thanks so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.